Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Story Time. Thank you so much for joining me today. Bachelor Nation, y'all have been so amazing. Every episode I've put out with any Bachelor, Bachelorette, Bachelor in Paradise cast members that I've interviewed, y'all have definitely been some of the best supporters, and I'm so thankful for you. So with that being said, I'm bringing you another episode. This one is with Chasen Nick from Claire and Tayshia's season. I feel like you either loved him on the show or you hated him. But he is, in the conversations that I've had with him, he is one of the nicest guys. So I'm really excited to sit with him and hopefully give you guys another glimpse into him and his life and what he's like away from the show. And I hope y'all enjoy it. All right, y'all, we are back with Chasen Nick. Chasen, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. So before I start the actual questions, I think I saw on, I believe it was Instagram, that you were in Scottsdale right before Christmas. Was that correct, or was I seeing things?
Yeah, no, I was in Scottsdale a couple months back. My friends were hosting a charity event for donation for raising money for kids. So they had it's called the 2030 Club in Scottsdale, and my aunt lives out there as well. So I got to visit her, spend some quality time with my cousins, and I have a couple friends out there. So it was nice to just get away for a little bit.
Nice. Yeah, I was going to say, so I lived in Scottsdale for 20 years. I'm here in Reno just for work, but love being home. I was home for Christmas. So since you said you have family there, I have to ask, is there a favorite place you love going to in Scottsdale?
Absolutely. Every time I go to Scottsdale, I love to go to Maple and Ash Steakhouse.
Ooh, I have never been there, but I feel like their menus are so like iconic. Everybody posts them on social media all the time with like the birthday and all of
Yeah.
that. But it's
Yeah.
definitely a popular place for sure.
Yeah, and then last time I went out there, my aunt took me to Culinary Dropout.
Okay.
And that was actually really, really cool spot. It was all open outdoors, really good food menu. They have a killer Caesar salad too.
Ooh, all right, I'm adding that to my list. And have you done, so Damar and I both went to ASU. I didn't really know him on campus or anything like that. But when I was home, I signed up for one of his classes and he killed me. I was sore like through Christmas. Have you done one of his classes yet?
I have. I was lucky enough to do one of his famous Madison classes. Damar is one of a kind. He brings so much energy into the room, and the beat and everything, you can feel it through your veins, through your body. I was actually very sore too. It was very difficult. And at the time, I had a cast on my wrist because I broke my wrist about 3 months back. And it was really hard to do his class just with one arm. So when everyone was in sync, kind of doing different moves, I had to alternate it.
Oh my gosh. How did you break your wrist?
So I was one of the victims of a bird scooter. I hit a sewer pothole, went over the handlebars, and broke my scaphoid, which is one of your hardest bones to heal because there's no blood supply that goes through your thumb. So it was a pretty tough recovery time. Did some hand therapy, and finally cleared to get back to working out and getting back on my routine.
Gosh, well, I'm glad you're better. So now I want to talk to you because your season, or Tayshia Claire's season, just wrapped up. And I always love hearing, so I've done several of these interviews back to my iHeart days with JoJo's season and all of that. So I've heard a lot of different answers, but for you, what made you want to go on TV in front of millions of people and try to find love?
That's actually a really good question. I was actually, my application was submitted for Hannah B's season, and I was going through kind of the whole process, and I decided to stay in my relationship with my girlfriend at the time. And then during quarantine, the casting agent reached out to me, and I said, why not? If there's emotional connection there, I'm not going to pass up on the opportunity to meet someone and go through that whole experience.
So obviously that your season was unlike any others because it was in the middle of a global pandemic. So I know y'all had to quarantine, you had to do testing, but just how crazy was it basically being confined to a hotel and not really able to travel and do the normal things that people would do on the show?
Looking back, I always think about that, and then I'm seeing Matt James' season and their budget, which is completely different than ours.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, I mean, if you see some of the dates that were happening in our season, they would say, "Oh, you're in Newport, or you're in Venice, or you're in New York," with actually not going there. So I feel that we got a little robbed, not being able to travel and experience everything that the whole franchise brings to that, but it's still once in a lifetime opportunity, and I'm extremely grateful for it.
And if you had to, let's say things were normal and you had to pick a date anywhere in the world, like your dream date on the show, what would it be?
So I've done quite a bit of traveling myself. One of my favorite places to go is Barcelona. So if we were to be in Barcelona, walk down Barcelona Beach and just check out all the different places and get tapas and really enjoy the culture, I would say that would be an amazing date. And then just enjoying everything that country brings. Spain is beautiful.
Yeah, Barcelona's definitely on my bucket list. I mean, all the pictures and videos are just stunning. So I can't wait for COVID to be over and people can actually travel again.
I know, I can't wait either.
Yeah, so if things were normal again, would you do it all over again, whether it's Paradise or another season of Bachelorette or Bachelor? Would you go through all of that again?
Well, it really depends where I'm in my life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where I am in my career in terms of, new business ventures, or if I'm dating someone that I have a very strong connection with. As of right now, if they were to ask me to go do Paradise, I even said it on my Q&A last night on my Instagram, I would go ahead and do that. I believe that, you can find a connection there. Multiple people have had better results from, being on Paradise, or even The Bachelor. I would be open to that as well.
Awesome. And yeah, you're right. That some of the strongest Bachelor Nation couples have come from Paradise, which is crazy because it's a whole new, basically like speed dating. There's just a ton of people. So is there someone that you would want? So let's say you were on Paradise. Is there somebody that you would be hoping for would show up?
I haven't really done my research too much. I gotta be honest there. But I would be optimistic and open to just meeting everyone and trying to figure out who I connect with. When you have that accelerated form of dating, you just get that feeling right away that you have that bond, that type of connection, and it's not forced. So that's really what I'm looking for is something that's just very easy and not pushed.
Love that. And so for your season, I have to know, because I feel like whether it was editing or whatever, the social media reaction to you was a little crazy. So did you watch the season back? That's the first question I have for you.
I did.
Okay.
I did watch the season back, and I'll tell you that I had to drink a couple glasses of wine to watch myself and see that.
But what I've heard from past contestants like a few years ago is I've heard that production really it doesn't change your words, but it can definitely make you look a certain way. So would you say that the show accurately portrayed you? Because every conversation we've had, you've been so sweet and so awesome. So, I mean, would you say viewers got an accurate description of who Chasen is?
I would love everyone to find that out on their own. I mean, if you watch the first 6 episodes, I was America's sweetheart. And then, I'm not a very physical, aggressive guy at all. I'm a sweetheart. I'm very genuine. I'm a big family person. My parents have been together for 38 years. These are the things that they didn't show on my time with the Bachelorettes, and they focused on other areas. But, I'm very, very big into my family and friends. And it takes me a lot to get my blood to boil the way it did. And it was on national TV. So, I don't regret anything I did. I'm happy that I stood up for myself, and I apologized at the end. So, I came back to him, I apologized, and I tried to squash it every single time, and he just wasn't having it. So, there was no physical altercations at all. It was all verbiage, and, that's in the past, and we're moving forward.
Yeah, and from what I've heard, I know y'all can't have phones, you can't have internet too, so it's almost like a scientific experiment where they're like, all right, let's take away anyone's connection to the outside world, confine them, and then try to be, sane and stay your normal self. I would think anybody losing all that connection they'd kind of be on edge and just, stressed, and, obviously that we use social media a lot, and so I can get how things can get on your nerve a little easier when you have
I appreciate that, and let's not forget we were in the desert as well. We were in 122 degrees weather during the days, and at nighttime it was still in the high 90s in suits. So that takes a part, and just very long days, really not a lot of sleep, and really just being around people at all times. You just, sometimes you need your own space.
Yeah, and I can agree with the heat part because, living in Scottsdale for 20 years, I have seen it get to 120 degrees, and it literally feels like you're in hell walking around. And I don't know if you noticed, but there was so much sweat shown on this season. Like, did they do anything? Like, did they carry fans or what? Because, some people were drenched.
I know. I was watching the last couple episodes when they did the hometowns, and I remember seeing Zach and Ivan and even Ben just drenched through their entire shirts. But yeah, that's how it was. We were hanging around the pool all day, and we usually just were in our swimsuits, swimming and working out all day, and getting AC when we could inside, playing some cards, and just really on top of an accelerated form of dating with the Bachelorette to ultimately reach an engagement. It's an accelerated form of friendships too. You're learning so much about these guys in such a short amount of time, and being vulnerable and connecting with them and learning about their past and where they came from and different memories that you shared. It's once in a lifetime opportunity to kind of grow that foundation with an amazing group of gentlemen, and be friends with them and continue that friendship.
Yeah, and I know obviously you saw DeMar in Scottsdale, but are there any other guys where, I know it's still not been a ton of time since the filming has passed, but any other guys that you think you're going to be close friends with for life?
Yeah, a handful of them. Spencer lives 3 blocks away from me.
No way.
I had no idea when we met on the show afterwards. We've been hanging out pretty much every weekend. I'm about to go snowboarding with Spencer and Noah next weekend in Vail. And Jason Foster was one of the immediate guys I connected with because we're in the same industry with IT staffing and consulting, and all the guys from the red team, because we really shared a moment there when we went 5-0 against the blue team for strip dodgeball. But yeah, overall, everyone is just super nice, and we all think highly of each other.
That's great. And so I want to ask you about social media and just life since the show aired. I saw you have around 50,000, I think, Instagram followers. So for you, what did you notice once the show started airing and people started recognizing you? Has there been anything crazy that you've already seen as okay, my life has definitely changed now that people are recognizing me?
Honestly, when that episode aired with the wrestling, where it was pretty much, I was the face of the whole episode with Ed. There was a lot of negative comments, a lot of lovers, a lot of haters. That was kind of tough to get over. I'm usually not used to that being in the spotlight. But it really takes thick skin to not really look at those comments in Reddit and go down that rabbit hole. So I've trained myself to, kind of just focus on the love and support from other people. But in terms of post Bachelorette, I would always just be hanging out at my friend's house right there on the boardwalk in PB. And now people just, ride on their bike and they, Bachelorette, you should have kicked Ed's butt, or coming up and asking for photos and asking me about my experience. It's definitely a different life now, and adjusting to it for sure. But anyone that comes up to me, I'm going to say hi to them. I'm going to ask them about themselves. I've done a really good job of that. And I really love all the support I'm getting from everyone.
Oh, I love that. And I want to know, this is kind of personal, but I guess not personal. Have you had any girls slide into your DMs, either asking for a date? And I've heard marriage proposals have happened in DMs post the show airing. So has anything happened like that with you?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Definitely. It happens every day whenever I post a story, and this is just me being honest with you. I'm not trying to come off in any way, but definitely a lot of numbers, a lot of pickup lines. Some of them, they're pretty funny actually.
What are some of the best ones you've heard?
Oh, I mean, there's some X-rated, like vulgar ones that they're very direct. So I'm not going to go down that path. But
Okay.
just, hey, I'm moving into the area. Can you show me recommendations around San Diego? Hey, you want to date my sister? Here's her Instagram handle. Hey, I think I saw you today. My girls and I are watching The Bachelor on Monday. Do you and your friends want to come over? Just very, very forward.
Yeah. I mean, you got to respect it, though. I mean.
Oh, I do. I 100% respect it. And I try to respond to a fair amount of people who show love and support. And then when I do that, they ask me on a date. So I'm just trying to like wrap my head around everything, and I'm trying to be nice and send like a yellow heart because I'm big into sunsets in San Diego. So I'm starting to do this yellow heart thing and sending it to people. And it just kind of goes, hey, well, I'm going to be here, meet me here. And it's just, it's funny. I'm loving it right now.
Oh, well, for anyone else that does not follow you, where can they follow you? Like, what are your different handles?
So you can follow me on my Instagram. It's just my first and last name, Chasen Nick. And then I fell into making a TikTok, and
I saw you came up on my like For You page, and I don't post, but I just like look at videos, and I was like, oh my God, there's Chasen.
Yeah. So I flew out to do the Men Tell All, and I ended up getting COVID. So I was making my first TikTok video trying to, mirror the Sway Boys, I think they're called, in this one dance, and it just went horribly wrong. I didn't know what I was doing. I had no rhythm. I'm laughing at myself right now. And then I'm just trying to get better at it, because you have to kind of cross-platform to continue connecting with people. And it's kind of fun doing it. So I'm trying to follow some trends. You can follow me on my TikTok. It's Chasen_Nick. You can get a good laugh on there.
I feel like you have to just not care too much, though, because I actually downloaded TikTok because I was interviewing Connor Saley, and he's also in Bachelor Nation. And he was like, okay, you have to make a TikTok. You have to record a dance. Send it to me by the weekend, because I was so just not for it. And so I did. I quickly made the video private after he saw it, because I was like, I don't need anyone I work with or any of my family or friends to like share this around. But I feel like you just can't take yourself too seriously, because not everyone is a professional dancer. Not everyone's going to have the rhythm or get paid millions to be on TikTok, but you just have to laugh at yourself.
You're 100% right. And I got self-conscious, and I deleted my original one because it was so bad. Yeah. So I learned from that. And then now it's just to kind of make fun of myself and have a good time. And I'm actually linking up with some other people from the franchise to, make some special appearances on there, which is fun. But yeah, you can't get mad at the comments. You just got to laugh it off. I took it too serious and I should have just kept it up there.
Well, I vote that you re-record the dance now and show everyone what it's like. Take 2. That's my vote.
Maybe I should do a duet with it.
Ooh, not with me though. You have to do like somebody else.
Or is it called a stitch where you do your original video and then you do the better dance move afterwards?
Oh, yeah, I think that's what it's called. Yeah. I vote for that.
Maybe. We'll see.
All right. So obviously the year just started. We're only 2 weeks into 2021. But for you, what is next? Do you have any, I know you still, work and do all of that, but is there any other big plans, either personally or professionally, that you have for the year?
Absolutely. So I was a big fitness enthusiast before my injury. That really set me back. It was mentally challenging, physically challenging, also kind of hit a little bit of a depression because I couldn't do what I used to do. So I'm, want to get back into, peak physical shape of where my goals were from last year. And then I'm also starting a new business venture. I can't release the information yet, but it will be coming out. I'm working on, some final paperwork and getting that squared away, and really just focusing on myself, self-development, more of a routine, waking up in the morning, getting back into that schedule. And once the country opens, or once everything opens up again, traveling, because my one thing I like to do is adding a new country every year to where I go. So I've been doing that for the past 4 years, and I want to continue that.
What would be the country for 2021?
I would love to go to Bali. I'd love to go to Bali or Fiji.
Okay, those are both awesome. I have never been. I've only been to Italy. That's like my big international trip. Have you been there before?
No, but that's somewhere I want to go. What was your favorite in Italy?
Oh man, well, history-wise, I would say Rome. Just like the Colosseum, the Forum. There's just so much history there. But I'd say otherwise, like Venice is pretty because it's all on the water. But Florence, we only did 1 night there, and I wish we would have had longer just because just the architecture is so beautiful. I can send you a full list because like the food there is so bomb too. Like fresh seafood, steak is amazing.
Oh, wow.
I can't wait to go.
That sounds amazing. Yeah, you have to send me that list. I'd love to check it out. And I just thought Portugal would be another one. I would love to go to Portugal.
My friend is actually studying abroad. He's been in Portugal for, I think, a couple years now, just doing graduate school there. And he cannot brag enough about it. It's amazing. So I'll get you a list for that too. We'll get you all set up.
I would love that.
Cool. All right. Well, the final question I had, it's not show related, so I kind of wanted to wait till the end. But I saw in doing a little bit of research that you were a competitive swimmer growing up and all of that. But I saw that you once swam from San Francisco to Alcatraz in nothing but a pink Speedo. So I'm very curious, how did this all start and that's an incredible swim that not everybody can do. So how did you train for that?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. That was on my bio for ABC. And what's really funny is they had that backwards. So it was from Alcatraz to San Francisco. Okay. So what we did is when I was swimming at Cal Poly, one of my friends, Peter Klein, he swims in this Alcatraz swim every year with his dad. And he's a very talented swimmer. He was one of the top guys on our team. And he just asked me, hey, do you want to do an open swim with my dad and I? And we do it every year. So we went to San Francisco. We got a hotel and never trained open water ever. Just swimming competitively in a 25-yard pool. Mm. So we jump in the water for the first time. It is freezing. I honestly can't even fathom the idea of your body jumping in water and you instantly hyperventilate yourself. So everyone's wearing wetsuits, and me and Petey, we were training in these pink Speedos at Cal Poly where we went to school. So we're just gonna wear our pink Speedos and this yellow Alcatraz cap. So we hop on the ferry, and we all have bracelets to track our time. So everyone's jumping off one by one the ferry. Right when they hit the water, they have to swim to San Francisco Pier, where you see a yellow buoy. Mm-hmm. And PD was probably like 5 people ahead of me, because you just stand in line and then it just tracks it when you hit the water. But right when you hit the water, PD just started swimming backstroke, and he's been doing it forever, and he just takes off. And I was like, I have to compete. I have to place in this. No joke, I hit the water. My whole body goes into shock. I can't even move, and I'm just kind of stuck there, and I'm still swimming backstroke. And it was one of the scariest things I've ever done. It was completely cloudy outside and overcast, so you couldn't see the yellow buoys of where you were going. And let's think that there's great white sharks in the water as well, and there's a current. So every 10 to 15 strokes, I had to clear my goggles because they were getting foggy. And I was swimming forever, and then all of a sudden I saw a yellow cap. I saw a PD out there, and I just did 10, 15 strokes, focused on him, 10, 15 strokes. Mm-hmm. And it was probably a 1.3 mile swim with current, and well below 50 degrees in water, and maybe low 50s. But then, I ended up getting 3rd place, which was awesome.
What? Congrats.
First and I got 3rd. Yeah. So that was the first open swim Alcatraz Invitational, and I don't think I'll ever do it again. I'm not in swimming shape anymore.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you would do it again, but it just sounds so crazy. And I know one of my best friends in elementary school and middle school was a competitive swimmer, and the shape that y'all have to be in is unreal. And it's basically, I would think you can't keep that shape just for the rest of your life if you stop swimming. But would you ever do anything like that? Maybe not Alcatraz, but like another country or something like that. Do you think you'd still be able to pull off that?
Yeah, I would like to get back in the pool for about a month or 2 months before. I feel like I'll always still have the feel for the water, just because I trained at that competitive level my entire life since I was 11 years old when I started, but it really took off when I was 18. Okay. And then, I would love to do something like that. If there was some sort of channel swim, that would be pretty cool.
Awesome. Well, if you do, let me know. I'll be rooting for you.
I appreciate that.
Of course. Well, Chasen, thank you so much for the time. I know you had to get this approved because it's still been so crazy since the show aired. I really appreciate the time, and it was great getting to chat with you.
Yeah, Courtney, thank you so much. And you have any plans for the weekend?
Oh gosh. No, I mean, in Reno, it's still boring here and we're still on lockdown, but maybe I've been trying to make it over to Tahoe. So it's only like a 40-minute drive, and it's not too snowy because I have a little Nissan Sentra with Arizona non-snow tires on it. So anything through the snow, I'm like skidding through stoplights and everything. Yeah, it's terrible, but it's not snowy yet. It's been like 60 and sunny the past couple days here, which means Tahoe is probably like 50. So I might do that, go in the mountains and explore. What about you? Any fun plans?
It is going to be 85 today and 80 all weekend in San Diego. So I'm going to spend my time on the beach, and I'm getting a dinner with a friend tonight. So.
Oh, well, have fun, and thank you again for the time.
All righty. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.